Hey, you guys, this is Roshana with some news, views, and conversations. Just want to pop in real quick and give you the latest information on the Epstein files. The Democrats are doing a damn thing. Some days I don't know whether to stay over here or I'm just going to be independent because y'all doing too much. I just want to read over a few things that was able to pull up for myself, and I want to share with you guys. So it says U.S. lawmakers have released 23,000 pages of documents from Jeffrey Epstein's estate, including some that reference Donald Trump. It says one of the three exchanges released by Democrats is between Epstein, a convicted sex offender who died in 2019, and his associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. An email from Epstein to Maxwell in April 2011. I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. And the victim, where they have it redacted, where you can't see who the victim is, the Democrats are saying that is Virginia Giuffre. An email from Epstein to Maxwell in April 2011 reads, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. So they're pretty much saying that he is the one that hadn't said anything. And they're saying the victim, Virginia Giuffre, spent hours at my house with him. All I'm going to say at this point is whatever is done in the dark always comes to the light. The Democrats say the emails strike a blow against the White House, Epstein's cover-up, while Trump says the Democrats are deflecting from how badly they've done on the government shutdown. This stuff is too wild. It's too wild. Too wild. I had some more information. And I actually saw something a few seconds ago on Facebook I want to share to me, which kind of like brings it home, because it looks like the Democrats, the 8, caved to pretty much, not getting everything they wanted, to end the shutdown. But someone said this on social media, and I thought this was key. They said, so Epstein was trying to blackmail Trump the whole time. And Democrats sat on this information until after caved to Trump into stopping the government shutdown. This is good. This is very good. And I'm so happy about it. I hope that this is a snowball effect. I hope that this is bring out the other 23,000 documents. That's what I want to see happen next. I hope this ends his presidency. I really do. This has gone on long enough with the ducking and the hiding, trying to cover it up. And I mean, it's just clear as in our face. I mean, I've seen videos of, victims being interviewed, how they came for one thing to model, to get in the business and ended up getting, groomed to be someone's concubine pretty much. So I'm glad it's all coming out. I mean, I hope the rest falls out of the closet. I'm going to read you a little bit of the information that I was able to uncover from the emails. I was able to pull them for myself, but I want to read some more information for you. So they have combed through a batch of more than 23,000 pages of documents, images, and emails released by the House Oversight Committee relating to the convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. 3 emails, particularly initially published by Democrats on the committee, featured exchanges between Epstein and his longtime associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, and separately with the author Michael Wolff. Got to go find out some more information about Michael Wolff. So the one that I just read you, one of the emails from Epstein Maxwell in 2011, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. The victim, again, is Virginia Giuffre, spent hours at my house with him. So they're pretty much saying that he was there the whole time. So even though he sat there and said he had nothing to do with the guy's a creep, he made him leave once he realized what he was doing as far as tracking victims coming to Mar-a-Lago. That is not true. He has more insight on everything that was going on with this guy. And I tell you, to me, just my thoughts only, allegedly, I feel like the same way all this Charlie Kirk mess is going on, he knows about that. I really do believe that he knows a lot more about what happened to Jeffrey Epstein. Just my thoughts only. This is where I'm going with this. So, although the contents contain Trump's name, none of the emails are to or from Trump directly. And he has always denied wrongdoing, which is what he always does. He lies consistently. He'll do whatever it takes to save his own behind. The White House came out in defense of the US president and accused Democrats of selectively leaking emails to the liberal media to create a fake narrative to smear President Trump. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't believe the hype. He's lying. He's so lying. Trump later said the documents were released by Democrats to deflect from their massive failures, in particular their most recent one, the shutdown. Nah, I don't think it's that. But this is the other thing. So that's why we were saying maybe this is why they have the government shutdown. They wanted to stay shut down because they did not want the lady by the name of Adelita Grajava to be sworn in. So separately, hours after this latest batch of documents were released, so after the documents have been released, newly sworn in Democratic Congresswoman Adelita Grajava signed a petition forcing a vote on the release of the Epstein files by the Justice Department. Nail in the coffin. I like it. I like it a lot. I hope they blow this whole thing out the water because a lot of us are tired of him. And I actually even had a thought to myself, maybe that's why he's really trying to drive the United States to hell right now. I mean, if you have information of this magnitude that could possibly come out and just blow up your whole world, yeah, I can see how you want to run the United States first. Like just sabotage, just ramshack the place, just mess up everybody's lives, take people's EBT cards away, get rid of people's jobs, all kind of stuff. It's almost like you want to destroy the United States because it looks like the United States is possibly about to destroy you. We're going to see what happens. I want to read you the last of the first of the emails that have been released out. I'm sure there's going to be more information to come just from what I've uncovered. And I got to see which videos I want to add on to this once I am done with my commentary, my thoughts on everything. The first one that I found from what they said, which is the one that was between Ghislaine Maxwell, April 2nd, 2011, at 7:09 p.m. to Jeffrey Epstein. And it's probably my third time, but I just try to make sure I keep everything in sequence as to how everything is coming out. So she says to Jeffrey Epstein, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Again, Virginia Giuffre. She spent hours at my house with him. He's been pretty much fingered, pointed, no pun intended. She pretty much is putting him out there. He has never once been mentioned, which is what she's saying. And then Jeffrey Epstein responds, he says, I have been thinking about that. So you can see a little bit of what I was able to pull. All right, what's the next one? This one is from Jeffrey Epstein and the Arthur Michael Wolff. Again, the redacted section is redacted where you can't see the person's name, but the Democrats are saying it is Virginia Giuffre, Mar-a-Lago. Trump said he asked me to resign. He said he was never a member, ever. So the part where he said he asked him to leave because he said he was a creep, he's doing stuff or whatever, Jeffrey Epstein. So Jeffrey Epstein out of his own mouth is pretty much saying he never asked me to resign and that he was never a member. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. This gonna be good. This gonna be good. This gonna be too good. And the third one that I have, which is from the Arthur Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, so he's saying, I hear CNN planning to ask Trump tonight about the relationship with you, either on air or in scrum afterwards. If we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? So this is what Michael Wolff is saying to Jeffrey Epstein. So Jeffrey Epstein responds, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or in the house or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you, or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. So, yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot to take in. We got to see what happens next. I hope that this is the nail in the coffin to his presidency, because someone of this magnitude has no business leading the people of the United States. I mean, it's like I said before in one of my other videos. Ghislaine Maxwell, she's a female, and she's helping solicit these females to these men and other men, pretty much running them through, promising them, modeling careers. It's ridiculous, it's sad, it's crazy, and it looks like we have a bunch of pedophiles running our country, covering for other pedophiles so they can keep the same behavior going on, and sexual favors for whatever the ladies are trying to get done in their careers. I think it's very toxic, but I'm glad that it is coming out. So I just wanted to pop in real quick, since this is bombshell news tonight. Got to put it out there. So I will see you in the next video. We will see what else comes of this. I hope more information comes out, and I'm all here for it. I mean, I've been waiting on this for a minute. So hopefully, this is the snowball effect, and boom, that's it for him, for his presidency, MAGA, and the whole toxic whatever else they got going on. So we can continue to be the people of the United States, multicultural, the melting pot, not just only white people. The United States is a variety of people. So yeah, I'm wanting to get back to that, because this is just, ugh. So I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Hey, you guys, this is Rashawn Ellis for News, Views, and Conversations. I just want to pop back in real quick and make sure I was giving you the complete, accurate information for email number 3. And I don't think that I showed it to you. So I want to make sure we got all up in that thing and showed it to you. Date, time, and who was saying what. So December 15th at 8 p.m., Michael Wolff, the book author who was speaking with Jeffrey Epstein, says, I hear CNN is planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in scrum afterwards. Jeffrey Epstein replies and says, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? Michael Wolff responds and says, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win the presidency, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. So this news, from what I'm understanding, first broke on the BBC. So I just want to make sure I'm giving you complete, accurate information. So I'm glad the information is coming out. I hope more information comes out. And so far, we only have 3 emails, but from what I'm hearing, there's like 23,000. So yeah, I want to make sure I pop back in and add this to video number 1 as far as seeing all the emails. And anything else that I get, I will definitely bring it to you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.
Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas, a key member of the House Oversight Committee and the House Judiciary Committee as well. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. What stands out to you from these emails that were publicly released by the committee today?
Yeah, so number one, it is clear that he knew what was going on, which I think that he's kind of alluded to that at some point in time, because the president said that he was trying to kick Ghislaine out of Mar-a-Lago because it seems like that's where girls were being recruited from based on information that we have. But more importantly is that he was having conversation, he being Jeffrey Epstein, with Michael Wolff, who is writing this book or trying to put together this book. And in real time, as Trump is running for his first presidential run, we hear or we see that he made it clear that he believes that he has leverage over Trump. And he said that a Trump regime would basically open up, this is me paraphrasing, this is not exactly what he said, but basically it'd be a free-for-all. And as we've seen, especially in this second term, it's been a free-for-all where Trump has absolutely pardoned some folk that we know are terrible, and we are waiting on him to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. I think that that's coming up soon, too.
Yeah, an important point indeed. Congresswoman, let's take a closer look at that email from Epstein where he writes to the author Michael Wolff saying this, and it's a direct quote, redacted victim, the name was redacted. Mar-a-Lago, Trump said he'd asked me to resign, never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Obviously, we don't have the full context here, but I'm curious, how do you read this specific email and what it means?
Yeah, I think that it is showing that he was well aware and he was trying to cover his tracks at that point in time. And I think that that's what you saw from Jeffrey. Obviously, it'd be better if we could talk to Jeffrey today, but it was very interesting that ultimately Jeffrey Epstein died sitting in prison during Trump's administration.
We had on Representative Marlon Stutzman earlier. He's a Republican, and he tried to make the case that President Trump is the most investigated person in the world, and he has not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing here. What do you make of that?
Listen, they will do and say anything to cover themselves. You know, I will admit that Donald Trump has been investigated more than the normal, but he just happens to be more corrupt and more criminal than any other president than we've had. I will point out he is the only president who has been convicted of 34 felony convictions that we've ever had in the Oval Office. So while we don't know exactly what crimes he may or may not have committed, just think of it this way. If you know that you didn't do anything, then why is it that you would be twisting members of your own party's arms, trying to get them not to release it? This would be exonerating. If you know that you are free and clear, then why not say, you know what, release the files? In fact, he campaigned on releasing the files because he didn't realize that anything that he was involved in whatsoever was involved in the files. But let me tell you something. Another thing that was said in that other email that he had with Michael Wolff was he was talking about if he wants to basically play hardball, we will make mention of the fact that he really has been on the plane, and I don't remember if it mentioned the island.
Let's actually put that email up just so our viewers can fully understand what it says. I just hope the control room can put this email up. It says, I think you should let him hang himself. And this is in response to a question of whether CNN would plan to ask Trump in a town hall about the relationship with Epstein. Epstein said, how do we craft an answer for him? And Michael Wolff says in this email, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime.
Yes.
That's the full email.
Yes, yes, yes. That is clear that Jeffrey Epstein had something to hang over his head. Why else or how else could you have a debt that you are able to? Now, exactly what it was, who knows, right? And that's what we're trying to get to the bottom of. But the fact that Trump does not want these files to be out, to me, says that he has more to hide than him actually being able to exonerate himself.
And then the other email talking about that we used initially, I'm just trying to find that email so I can be really precise here, but it talks about how Epstein is emailing Maxwell saying that Trump was with a victim at his house for several hours. This is an email from April 2nd, 2011. Republicans were saying that that victim is Virginia Giuffre. As you know, she died by suicide. She's been very outspoken. Jeffrey Epstein. Here's the email right here on your screen. She wrote a book, as you know, and she did not accuse him of any wrongdoing. What do you make of that? And can you confirm that?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's redacted who the victim is, so I won't necessarily take the Republicans' word on who it is that's redacted. And I don't know why they would necessarily redact someone's name who is deceased at this point.
The Democrats did that, though. The Democrats redacted.
No. I understand, okay, but I'm just saying, like, our biggest concern is to actually make sure that we are protecting victims. And obviously, she wrote a book. She told her truth. Whether or not she told everything, who knows? Again, another person that we can't talk to because we have yet another side around this. So I think that that's actually one of the things that we should talk about, is that the president has tried to call this all a hoax. I don't think you have this many people dying around a hoax. I don't think you have somebody trying to hide files around a hoax. We know that there's something there. We know that his own attorney general had to admit that he is in the files, but they are trying to hide stuff. The only reason that we have these emails is because we were able to get them from the estate. Not because the Department of Justice was releasing information, not because Kash Patel was releasing information, even though they've had subpoenas from the Oversight Committee for some time. Kash Patel continues to hold back information. So I thank God that there is somebody that still respects the law and still respects subpoenas in this country, but it's not the people that are empowered to do it, the people that actually conducted the investigation. Imagine what we may discover if we got the investigatory information versus getting something from an estate.
Well, but we should also note that the head of the Oversight Committee is a Republican. It's Republican. The chairman is James Comer, and he is the one who is issuing these subpoenas.
Well, let's be clear about this.
Okay.
This is not something that he wanted to do. This was a subcommittee, remember? It has been the Speaker of the House who has consistently tried to avoid this by shutting down the House. So what the Speaker did is he sent us out on an early recess. But before we left, it was a subcommittee of the Oversight Committee that actually did the motion for the subpoenas, and the Democrats kept pushing, and some Republicans actually joined with the Democrats. This was not led by James Comer.
Like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know if she's on that subcommittee.
Okay.
But Nancy Mace is on that subcommittee for sure. She's actually the chair of that subcommittee. This subcommittee, the ranking member is Summer Lee. So it was that subcommittee. So this was actually the tail wagging the dog. I just want to be clear about that. And ultimately, the chairman had a vote that was bipartisan, that was the majority, and he had to do it. But whether or not they have been like slow rolling this, there's no question about the fact that they have.
And you have had Marjorie Taylor Greene, I believe Thomas Massey. It's been some Republicans who want the full floor vote on this.
Yeah, we've got 4. Yeah. 4 out of the 219 Republicans, yes, in the House. The rest of them seem to be okay with being complicit with protecting pedophiles.
You know, it's interesting. A CNN poll from last July showed that 50% of Americans were feeling dissatisfied about the amount of information released on the Epstein case. Did that have any influence at all on your decision to make these emails public today?
No, I mean, ultimately what's happened is, obviously, again, we've not been getting anything from the DOJ. Instead, it's been the estate of Epstein. And so as they've been turning things over, it takes staff time to review those documents and things like that to make sure that we've got something, number one, of value to the public. There's still additional information. I want to be clear. We got way more than 3 emails. But in their cursory review, they were able to say, okay, here are 3 emails that we think are of value. We do anticipate that there will be more that they will find that will be of value. They will go through the redaction process. They will also consult with the Republicans before we release anything. So it takes a little bit of a process. But I will say, again, that the estate seemingly has been more participatory than our own Department of Justice, who we actually oversee.
So where do you think all of this is heading?
Good question. I don't know, but hopefully it will start with the swearing in of Adelita Grijalva, as they have been avoiding that. Again, the House was shut down over that. I'm sure that the president has been making calls trying to get one of the 4 Republicans that did sign on to the discharge petition. I'm sure he is begging and threatening to get them to pull their names off of there. We know that they don't want to vote. We know that they called us in just for one day to work after we've been out since September. Again, we could be doing additional work. Even if this continuing resolution passes, we should be passing our appropriations bills. That's all the continuing resolution is for, it is in the meantime. But instead, it seems like they want to continue to be evasive so that they can slow walk this subpoena actually coming down.
All right, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, great to see you here in the situation, and thank you for your time.
Absolutely.